Hi everyone, I hope you're all well. Boy, have I missed you a lot. All that conversation on there, I've been stood here for the last 5 minutes looking at all your conversation. It looks like you're all good and well, which is brilliant. I hope you're all well. For those of you that don't know who I am, look, I have been out with a dog. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Tony Darroch and I'm a Kes presenter over on Create and Craft. And this is a lovely channel to visit where you're absolutely going to get some inspiration, whether it be with a stamp, a die, paints, pencils, it's going to be something. So thank you for joining me live on the channel. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button, and if you are new to the channel, there is a little bell which will tell you all the notifications every time we are live. It's lovely to see you all. So hi Roseanne, Paula, Anne, Selma, Margaret, Avril, Sue, Irene, Helen, hi sweetheart, Bernadette, Julie, Amanda. It's lovely to see you all. What a fabulous day, hey? So we've got lots to show you. We're going to be doing the Fabulous Craft Academy range. So we're working our way through a couple of stamps and stencils each time. And then once we've got through them all, we're going to totally mix them up. So we'll be going back and revisiting them all and putting them together with other products, okay? So we're just slowly working through them all, giving you some ideas, and then at the end, we will collaborate with lots of other products that you may have from Stamps by Me, or maybe other branded products too, because I know you all love all of the brands that are out there currently. So in today's studio, we are going to be focusing on two more new ones from the Craft Academy range. Now, if you are brand new to our Craft Academy, basically you can buy any of the products that we show in studio. All you need to do is go to Stamps by Me and pop FBL into the search engine, and it'll bring all the products that we've brought to you on Craft Academy Phase 2. There are some left from First Craft Academy, and there's also a few left from Christmas too. They never go away, and neither do the videos, so you've always got that inspiration. And in today's studio, we're going to use these two lovely products here. So we have the lovely Forest stencil, and we have the lovely Best Friends. There we go. How gorgeous are those two? So we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're still going to be using inks and colours and things, but we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Before we do anything though, I have a lovely video showing you some lovely inspiration from all of the makes that the lovely design team have done over the course of the last few weeks. Check this lovely video out. Did you enjoy that one? Got the lovely samples at the side of me. So no lots of inspiration, not no lots of inspiration, just lots of inspiration. So in today's show, we're going to use those two products, and the other product that I'm going to be using is our nesting Creative Card 6, which is this one. I just wanted to create an alternative shape on my card today. Now you can buy these if you want to, but you will have some shaped nesting dies in your stash, you know, some with scallops and some with stitch and things like that. So you are going to need a sort of shaped die today too. So have you got your cup of tea? Let's have a look. Oh, everybody's saying about the, oh, for younger cards, absolutely. Perfect for that. So cup of tea at the ready, and let's have some fun. So first of all, what I am going to do is I'm going to use the stencil, and this is going to create the aperture on our card. Okay, so the stencil is the forest stencil. So I thought this was quite a quirky one, which would work really, really well with the two young girls. It is called Best Friends, and they could be best friends, but they could be sisters. They could be mother and daughter. Could they be mother and daughter? I'm not sure. Some mum and daughters probably wish they looked like that, hey? So first of all, what I'm going to do is I've just got this piece of white cardstock here. And instead of stenciling through the stencil, I'm going to put some ink on the stencil, and we're going to do, you know, the lifting off the stencil, so I get a different design on my card, hopefully. And then these two lovely, lovely shapes that we've got from our lovely nesting dies, okay, these are the shapes that we're going to cut out of our stencil work, if that makes sense, and I'll show you in a second exactly what I mean. So I've just got the stencil here, and I have a grey and evergreen bow here, so two colours. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some of the ink onto the design of the stencil. Now, a bit random, yeah, we know. So a bit of grey on there. Grey works with everything, doesn't it? Not with my wrinkles, nor mine. Now, I have just done that, and just one second. That green is going to clash with my card. I'm using a lime green cardstock today, so I've picked up the wrong green. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to just take that off. I'm just going to start again. Just going to take that off because it's the wrong green and it really will not complement my card. It's a sort of grass green is that one, and I want like a limey zesty green. So start again. So move that awful green. Well, it's not awful, but it doesn't fit my card. So grey, random, and then I've got twisted citron. That's better. And I'm just going on the parts of the stencil that are left white. There we go. I think that's going to look pretty awesome. See if I've got any white spaces. No, I think we're good to go. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to spray it with some water. Hopefully not too much, because sometimes when we do this technique we end up with a puddle, don't we? So let me just see how my design is going to work here. So it's going to be that way. So let's get which part of the design we like the most. So let's go here, and we'll push that card onto that stencil. And hopefully we'll get a pretty design, hopefully. Oh wow, look at that. How beautiful is that? I'm really chuffed with that one. So let's move this out of the way. Let's just clean it first. I'll set that aside. So you probably could actually get a second card out of that one. So let's just clean this off, because there's still lots of ink on there actually. So I'll just push that to the side. So I'm just going to dry that off with my gun. That is really pretty. Oh, I'll just turn it on. It helps. I'll just dry this one off. So is everybody okay? I hope you're all okay. There's now light at the end of the tunnel, isn't there, with regards to Christmas and family and restrictions. We're getting there. I suspect next year is going to be a far better year, guys. So I'm just giving this a good old blast off, simply because we're going to die cut. And if you remember last time, lesson learned, when we die cut a damp piece of card, can you remember it stuck to my plates and then it all just came away? Can you remember? So I'm just making sure this is absolutely dry. So I think we're good to go there. So I'll just set that aside. So So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the 2 dies that I've taken out of those nesting shapes, and what I've done is I've left a nice border, so when I cut this out here, can we see that there? It'll have decorative part on this part here and then this part here. So I'm going to pick the part that I like the best. I really do actually like how it captures that sort of tree element there. Can we see that there? But it is personal preference, you don't have to do it bang in the centre, but I just like how it's picked up that part of the design, so I'm going to go with that. So I'll take that one there and we'll take this one here. So I just grab my plates. We'll just run this one through. So I'm being asked, how do you tell a troll from a genuine new customer? Usually we can tell by what they say. So we will obviously, anybody who's saying not so nice things or maybe saying rude things. We also do a quick check on YouTube as well to see what their channel consists of, as you can imagine. But we always do check. So don't worry on that front. So I'm just removing all of this from here. And just take your tape off carefully because you don't want to tear. This is the thing, you see, what I was saying about making sure your artwork is absolutely dry. I'm taking my time with this because I really don't want it to tear that piece of card. But make sure your artwork is absolutely dry so it makes life a little bit easier. And I've just got a piece of tape on there, but that's fine, I can deal with that. There we go. That will come up, there we go. There we go. So now we have our 2 lovely sort of forest effect design in there. I think that's how it went. Is that how it went? No, let's turn it around. There we go. So you can see it fits seamlessly back into place should you wish, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. So let's set these aside. So the next stage of our card is to stamp one of the ladies. So let's stamp the lady with the glasses on her face because I think she's pretty, very pretty in fact. Just grab some white cardstock here. So when I was prepping before coming live to air, I couldn't find my magnet for toffee. I was like, where's my magnet gone? I'm checking the table, I'm checking underneath. I stuck to the bottom of my Tim Holtz distress tin. So I went to get a Tim Holtz distress ink and wow, there it was attached, laughing at me. I don't know, they get everywhere, don't they? So I'm just going to grab a grey ink pad because my card is going to be grey and I don't want to really sort of like shy away from grey and green because that's what we've done in our background. So I'm going to stick with the grey. However, our sentiment will be black so it pops from the page. So let's stamp this lovely girl. And she looks pretty awesome, doesn't she? So I'm just going to show you very, very quickly. Let's just pop her on the carrier sheet there. And I'm just going to grab, now I've just got my everyday watercolour pens here. Now, this is normal cardstock and I'm just using my watercolours. Excuse me. So to show you that you can, if you just got these and didn't get alcohol markers, this is just to show you that you can get a blend with watercolour markers if you want to. You know, if you just wanted to do a bit of colouring and still get that bit of light and shade, you can do it with your watercolour markers. So I'm just going to show you how I do it anyway. Because I appreciate you won't be able to maybe not buy both. So let's do her vest. So I've just got 2 shades of green. Like a punchy green, which is going to give me my light shade, and then I've just got a darker tone here. So I'm just going to go with the green, the light punchier green, all over a vest. And it's normal cardstock, so it's going to take a while for it to evaporate, but if you get light lines, don't worry about them, they do disappear, okay? So I'm just doing a lighter colour all over. So I'm not going to spend ages colouring, but I just want to show you that if you have just got the watercolour markers, they do work. But equally, if you've got your own lovely markers in your stash, which you absolutely adore, you can get those out and have fun too. We're not precious about what you use. We all like to buy lovely stuff, some more than others. Well, I particularly do, particularly with colouring. So you can see they're not very good at colouring with that obviously cardstock, but I'll show you how we can get a smooth blend. So I'm just going to take the green here. So I can see that there's lines in a vest here, so I'm just going to add some dark green on those lines to suggest she's got a wrinkle in her top here. And then we'll just pop a shadow a little bit down her arm and down this arm, and then under the V, like so. And then just where those lines are there to help me out, I am going to just pop that bit of green in there. So it's looking like, oh, a bit messy at the moment, but it hasn't evaporated for one, so I'm okay with it. And two, I haven't gone back over with the lightest colour yet, so there we go. And then I'm just going to go back to the green, the lighter green that we used, and I'm just going to push this all over and push that dark green back a little bit. And I'll just give it a second to evaporate a little bit. Can we see now we've sort of like got the, I'll hold it up for you because that might help. Can we see there? So you can really go to town adding some darker shades in that vest if you want to. Now it's still drying, so I could absolutely now go back over with the punchier green. And push it back even further. You just have to be mindful though that the more layers you put on normal cardstock, you start to get the pill in the cardstock, okay? So you can see you've got the contrast in the centre that looks a little bit like light. So do play with them, that's what they're there for. Right, so I've just got a little message with regards to our delivery service. Now I'm just going to read it off the board because it's the full board. So we're using DPD obviously for our orders that are over £50. The reason we're doing that is because it's really reliable and the likely chances you will get it the very next day. It's really, really good. The service we've had back from customers about it is incredible. So we have done that. However, if your order is under £30, it goes via Royal Mail, but it is still signed for. It just takes a little bit longer, okay? So, however, if you are wanting DPD delivery service, you can click that option, okay? So have a look on the drop-down option when you put your postage in, and it's £4.99 if you do it via DPD. Okay, so there are options there for you, and what we're trying to do as a company is, yes, Royal Mail are fantastic and yes, they deliver a great service. However, parcels can take up to 3 weeks, and we can't challenge or follow or chase up until that three weeks is over, which is very difficult and very not fair really. So we've put options in there for you. I'm not saying that Royal Mail parcels go missing because they absolutely don't, it's a rarity, but just check out the options which are going to suit you when you're picking your order and how you want it delivered, okay? However, DPD is really reliable in the run up to Christmas in relation to getting your parcels quick and efficiently, okay? But now you have the choice, so fingers crossed that's going to help everybody. Right, DPD always the best service. They are really, really good, and we've popped that option in there because people have a choice now. You have a choice, so let's drink to that. So what we're going to do ahead of time, now I stamped this other lady here, look, I had to walk away from it because she was getting darker and darker and the fake tan was getting worse and worse, but I coloured this one very quickly before we came to wear, I used the 2 shades of green, so you can see this is still drying, and I can see in the centre of that vest there, it's drying lighter. Can we see it? So it will look like this vest here. And then I had some jeans, and then I just popped some razzle dazzle on the glasses up there to make her quite funky. Okay, so that's the only thing I've done ahead of time, so you might have to do that one off air, but I do appreciate some of you will be crafting along, so that's why I just wanted to colour that little vest there just to show you. It's really, really simple. You don't have to have all the posh stuff if really all you're just wanting to do is lay a bit of colour on some card. You really don't. Okay, so let's move on to the next stage of our card. Pop that under there. Yeah, normal post is a bit longer. 10 days, some people, it's taking 10 days for some people, 2 weeks, 5 days, 3 days. It's a bit hit and miss, and I suppose it all depends on your area. So let's create this lovely card. First of all, what I am going to do is our large die that we use to create the outline of our aperture here. I'm just going to cut on, again, on another piece of white cardstock. Now this will come to fruition exactly what I'm doing in a second. So I'm just going to cut this shape out of this piece of white cardstock again, and this is just going to help balance my artwork. I know it's all a bit like, oh my gosh, what's she doing, where's it going? Can't figure out what she's doing yet. It will soon come to fruition. So just run this one through, and if you have got nesting dies in your stash, they are a core item. So get your shaped dies out that you've bought, whether them be from me or any other brand, and let's be a bit more creative with our cards rather than just the sterile rectangle cards, which I keep doing all of the time. So that's why I've dug out my nesting dies, because you know I created them and I love them, so I'm going to get them used. So let's just pop this one out of here, look. So I'll just set this aside now. So this is where we can be really, really creative. So what I'm going to do today is, you know our lovely carrier sheet that our girls come on? I'm going to take the carrier sheet and use it in my card. Because it's a carrier sheet at the end of the day. I can always put another clear one on my stamp if I really wanted to. But I'm going to use the lady here with the glasses in my card, feature it in my card. Now, if you're thinking, oh, well, you know, because look, on acetate as well, so you can use her as a shaker card, but I'm just going to cut away the girl that I want to use, which is this one with the glasses, because we have this one here in colour. Okay, so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm just going to bring my aperture in. Can we see here? So she's going to go in my aperture here. So I'm just going to pop some tape or some glue around the aperture. Very carefully, just around the aperture there, and hopefully it will stick with this glue. And then I'll just pick up my design here, and I'll pick up the girl. And then I'm just going to decide where she's going to go. So I'm going to pop her straight in the middle, hopefully. Just give it a second to grab on that glue behind. Can you see now I've got the lovely girl in there? Quite pretty. Try not to get glue everywhere. Like so. I'm just going to give that a second to grab. Can we see, if I turn it over, you can see the girl there behind the aperture. So I'm just going to give that a second to grab. So just be mindful, you do have to have patience. Don't be thinking you're going to get a quick card with this. You don't want glue all in your window. So let's just have a little sup of tea. Right, so whilst that's drying, you're going to need some tape, some 3D foam or pads or something. to create this card, and you're going to need sequins because we're doing a bit of a shaker card with the lady in the window. So I really don't want to touch that yet. Let's just see if anybody's asking me any questions. So Craft Academy free project downloads are going to be starting from tomorrow. So we've still done Craft Academy for about a week now, haven't we? So the downloadable projects are going to be available as from tomorrow. So check those out on the downloads on the website. There is also a few on there from Craft Academy 1 too. So we are catching up, which is brilliant. Right, so I so wish I could and Tim's popped it up for you there so you can see. So there's the website, and if you go down the left hand side all the way down to the side there, you will see the free downloads, and if you click the free downloads there, that is where it'll take you to the list of all the lovely downloads we've done for you. So there is a few Christmas projects from old, and there are some free downloads, but definitely the one with the Craft Academy ones on there. Can we see those there from all of the earlier Craft Academy ones that we did? So go in, check them out. They are absolutely free. So if you're not a visual learner, maybe step by step on paper helps. You can print them off, save them in a file if you want to. They're not going away though, guys. They'll always be there for you. So check those out. There's some great, well, you'll remember if you watched Craft Academy, there's some great ones in there. Right, so Christine, the paints are in stock. The 38 paints should be in stock. Have another look, sweetheart. The hot air balloon is out of stock. I don't know about that one, I'll have to check. Yeah, so what was I saying? Yep, so basically I really wish I could draw faces and, you know, girls, you know, like these sorts of characters, but I'm absolutely rubbish at it. So there we go. So I do like a good sketch of the back of a head though, but not the eyes. The eyes are just no way. So all I'm doing here is I'm just adding some 3D tape around and I'm just making sure there are no gaps, because we're going to obviously fill it, aren't we, with sparkly stuff. So make sure there's no gaps, like so. So I'm just popping a wind around. So if you don't want to use your carrier sheet for the design in the front, just moving it over, I've got a little gap, there we go. If you don't want to use the girl on the carrier sheet, you can stamp onto acetate with a stays on ink pad, okay? So you can get the same results if you don't want to use your carrier sheet. So I have that little gap there, so I am going to have to fill that gap. I'm just going to make sure I've got all of that in there. Now don't worry if you've got like a little gap where, you know, because I'm not putting glitter in, I'm just popping sequins in, so hopefully the sequins won't be able to get out of the little gap, but there we go. So I'll give it a good push down. And if you've got any foam tape protruding over your design, just snip it away. And as you can see, my vellum here is extended past the shape, so I'm going to have to trim that away too. And there we have the lovely lady in the window there with our sort of making elements to the back there. Just push that in there. So what I wanted to do, I don't know if it's, let's just have a look. So the design that fell out of the centre part here, I'm just going to lay it on and see what it looks like behind the girl. So it's colourful behind her. Oh, let's see without. Do we say without? Or with? I think we should go with. Let's go with, because I think the sparklies will separate the design, okay? So let's just pop this, glue this flat. Just making sure it's the right way up. So I'll pop it in the centre there, hopefully it's in the right place. That's about right, isn't it? Yep, so let's just push this down. Oh, everybody said with. That's great. Well, pleased you all agree. It looked a bit plain, didn't it? So what we need to do now is we need to capture some sparkles in there. So I'm just going to grab my sequins here. So I always put my sequins on to the back of my artwork, and then I pop the artwork on top. I just find it easier than trying to flip things over. So just grab your artwork and then decide on what sequins. So we're going to have to go the natural sparkly ones, aren't we? Because that's just a given. And let's bring in our lovely lady here and see if we've got anything that's going to complement our lovely lady. So you can see why I've got that green in there. So I've got... let's go with this rosy gold colour because the skin's heading that way, isn't it? Shall we put some navy in too because she's got jeans on? Hey, what's the worst that could happen? And we'll put some natural sparkles in too. Maybe a few more. I need some more of these sparkles. We're going to have to get on at Claire, aren't we? More sparkles. And that's it. So I'll just pop them on there like that. And then push them all in the centre. So I'm not putting glitter in this one. I do normally like to put glitter in, but today I'm not gonna. I'm not confident it won't go flying out, so. There we go. So I'm going to leave those out because I'm going to put some on the front of the screen near the lady too. So I'm just going to give this a good old push down. Then we'll remove our backing. Now probably white tape would have been better, but I only had the black. I suppose it's not the end of the world, is it? So the rolls of foam that I'm using are the ones from Create and Craft. I got them, you know, when they had a sale. They do white and black. So just taking the backing off here, trying to be very careful. And then let's pop this round our design. Let's just spread them out a little bit, give myself a little bit of movability. And then we just pop this girl on top, try and get it as straight as we can. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'll pop a little bit of glue on here as well. That's going to allow me just to move it around in case I don't quite get it straight. And then the glue will dry and the foam will adhere. That will help immensely. You see that there? Just being a bit careful with it because we've used wet glue, but I'll hold it up. There we go. So you can see how pretty she is in that little window. So let's move on to the next stage. Put the lid on my glue. So let's start putting this card together. So I have a white top folding note card. Okay, I have a piece of grey and a piece of green, but normally we would just do this, wouldn't we? And then put our design on, but I'm going to do it a little bit different today. So I'm going to go slightly off here. I promise you I haven't been drinking. And then we'll pop our green on, and we'll do that the opposite way. So we've sort of like got a bit of hodgy spodgy background today. We should probably send some of you stir crazy at home who have got a bit of OCD maybe. So there we have sort of our layers on there. And then I'm just going to pop some pads behind this. And then we have our girl. So let's have a look where we're going to, before we place, always obviously decide where we're going. So I want both girls on here today because they are best friends. Okay, so I'm going to go just over here to this side with our shaker element. And then our girl is going to sit flat on here, but she's going to be 3D'd under here. So totally different colours today, everyone. I'm going to have to double pad, I think, this one because of the depth between there. So I'm going to double pad. And hopefully it's not too high. So we've got best friends. They're still together, guys. They're still together. Let's do a little bit further up here, look. Like so. And then I stamped Dream, Create and Inspire. So this is the one from the thank you stamp that I sent you all for getting involved in the Craft Academy last time, if you remember the free one. I'm sure you do remember because you were all ever so grateful. Just pop this on here. And I just made it into a little bit of a banner, Dream, Create and Inspire. And I have a fine liner pen. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop a little stitch around here. Make sure it's in the shot. There we go. So nothing straight, but just to get rid of that sort of plain white edge. So I'm just following that all the way around. You see that? It just takes that harsh white edge away. You don't have to be straight. That's the whole point of the stitch. You could do the wonky line that we like to do too, so personal preference really. Like so. And then we just pop some pads behind this one. Now, what I would have done, it's too late now, is the green and the grey part behind. I would have probably used the same stencil and used tone on tone. So I would have stenciled through grey onto grey, stenciled through green onto green, just to get rid of that plainness. However, if you're thinking that looks still plain, you can get your pen and we can add that faux stitch to the grey. All the way up there, so it just takes your eye away from it being a little bit plain and you're thinking, do I need a butterfly? What do I need? So let's just come up here. I'll not do it on the green because I think I might be pushing it. I will certainly do it on the grey. Do I need to do it on the green? tone on tone stencil, I would have definitely done it, yeah. So let's leave the green then. And let's stick our dream, create and inspire. And I'm just going to pop it under here, but I'm going to do it so it's off the page, you know, so we're not sort of symmetrical today. And then I think we could put some sequins on the window if we wanted to, but I am going to leave it. I think it looks quite pretty. So let's just move everything out of the way so you can see exactly how it looks. Something a little bit different today, hey? I'll just give it a shake. Sorry, it might send the camera stir crazy. But there we have. A lovely, lovely card for a teenager, a friend, a mum, happy Mother's Day, you know, just because the girls are quite upbeat and funky doesn't necessarily mean oldie worldy grumpy mum can't have a funky card, hey? So I'm pleased you like that one, everybody. Something a little bit different, but the girls obviously are there and friends, but there could be so much more. Don't look at them as just a friend stamp, because that's what we've called it. And as you'll know, with a lot of our Craft Academy range, a lot of the designs are from fabulous designers that are really good in their field. So these are brilliant artists who draw images, facial images and things like that. Then we have your fantastic landscape artists who do the windows, and you know, so there is a lot of talent out there, and I'm very grateful that we're allowed to use these people and, you know, have their talent made into stamps. It's incredible, isn't it? Albeit sometimes I do stuff myself, and you've all got stuff of mine at home, but it is lovely to be able to diversify and use other people's products. It's amazing. I love to craft, as you do at home. So I'm glad you've enjoyed that, everyone. So I'm back tomorrow. I'm not on TV all week, so you've got me all week unless anything changes. And tomorrow will be some new products, but over the course of the weeks you will be able to see that we're going to mix it up, and we're still going to get through this sort of lockdown period and just look after each other. So that's it from me today. I hope you have a lovely evening. It's sausage casserole for me tonight. So excited. So have a lovely evening, everyone. I'll post the picture on Facebook too. Have a lovely evening. See you later all. Bye.